women's college basketball. Tonight, an old friend is back in town as the South Carolina Gamecocks play host to Bowling Green. I'm Dave Weinstein alongside John Williams. It's coaching tree week here in Columbia for Coach Staley. We saw one former assistant on Monday, John. We get another one tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely a full circle affair. We had Coach Gandy from Grand Canyon that came in on Monday, and now we get to see Coach Shamil for Bowling Green go out there and show what they can do. It's like a South Carolina family reunion out here.
Let's take a look at some players to watch and a top guard for the Bowling Green Falcons.
Yeah, Paige Kohler, dynamic player, can score the ball in so many ways, can shoot the three. She can get paint touches, as well as she's going to be asked by Coach Shamil to lead this team by being more vocal, and she's taken the helm so far.
Put up great numbers in the Falcons season opener, but she's not the only one with great numbers. Raven Johnson nearly had a triple-double for South Carolina.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Raven Johnson was one of those players that decided to come back because she felt that she had unfinished business. She wants her fade back. And as you watch her play, you will see it. The way she competes, the way she defends, and the way she leads this team is going to be needed and necessary for this season for South Carolina to come out on top with a championship.
It's the third all-time meeting between the Gamecocks and the Falcons. South Carolina leads the season series, I should say, 2-0. Last time they played 2 years ago up in Ohio, it was a victory for South Carolina over Bowling Green. Getting ready for the opening tip here inside Colonial Life Arena. Our officials tonight are Natasha Cammie, Jeffrey Smith, and Chris Sauceda.
I like that last name, Sauceda. She's got it.
Gamecocks defeated Grand Canyon on Monday night in their season opener. Bowling Green, they're 1-0 as well, John. They defeated Louisiana 82-67 on Monday in Lafayette.
Yeah, they did a great job of competing against a very gritty and feisty Louisiana Lafayette team. Really played under control and with poise.
Opening tip. The first possession belongs to the South Carolina Gamecocks. Raven Johnson, the redshirt senior guard, runs the show for South Carolina. Put up 94 points in the opener against Grand Canyon. Shot 60% from the field, 47% from three. Tessa Johnson off the glass. Offensive foul.
Yeah. One thing that we saw with Bowling Green against Louisiana Lafayette was they took a lot of charges. There were a ton of offensive fouls called in that game. They're going to try to get under you. They're going to make you think you have the lane and then slide under you right before you get to the basket.
Here's the starting five for the Falcons, who put up 81 points on opening night at Louisiana. Shot 52% overall, 31% from three. John, they got to the line often, 23 of 29 in that one, 79%. The area of concern, though, was turnovers.
Absolutely, 22 turnovers. But here's the thing. They play the dribble drive motion, so they're always looking to get paint touches. Every time they get a touch on the ball, they're going to see if they can get the paint, make the defense implode, and create something easy out of it.
The floater goes for Donahue. 2-0 lead for the Falcons. Here's your starting five for the Gamecocks. Latson, Johnson, Edwards, and Okote. They get it inside to Edwards for an easy two.
And that is where South Carolina is at their best, when they are able to get paint entries, post entries, and try to find ways to get it where their post players can drop, step, and finish.
In the corner. That shot's no good for Miller. The Gamecocks the other way. Johnson finds Edwards again. She'll kick it out. Latson couldn't hit from the corner. Another opportunity for South Carolina. And another foul on the offensive end for the Gamecocks. Goes against Tessa Johnson. She picks up her second.
Bowling Green is doing exactly what their plan is by Coach Shamil, which is try to find ways to disrupt South Carolina's rhythm. Make it difficult for them to receive passes. Make sure that the referees know when there's inadvertent contact so that they can get an offensive foul.
He's told us they're really hard to guard, but you can make it difficult for them, contest some shots, get some help rotations working for you. Tied it 2 early on. Paige Kohler, she kicks. Ellis in the paint, working against Okote. Couldn't find any room. A rebound for Latson. The Gamecocks run the floor. It's Edwards.
South Carolina getting out in the open floor. Due to their very tough defense, and right there we see Raven Johnson putting pressure on the primary ball handler, shooting that gap and getting herself an easy layup.
She had 3 steals in the opener against Grand Canyon. Member of the SEC All-Defensive Team last season was Raven Johnson. And another turnover. Edwards leads the rush. The easy layup.
Bowling Green struggles with taking care of the ball. When you play against a team like South Carolina, you have to understand that your offense is your best defense against them.
Gamecocks on an 8-0 run. Latson for 3. Off the mark, but a rebound for Okote. Raven Johnson calls out the play. Put up 11 points. The opener against Grand Canyon. McKeer, a deep 3. Well, she's fouled.
I love that action for South Carolina. Nice little horns play. Flare action. McKeer gets herself an open shot.
The foul was on Lauren Gherkin. Picks up her first. Got McKeer. 2 for 2 from the free throw line in the opener. 2 of her 5 points. 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists in her collegiate debut. Freshman from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Played 19 minutes in that debut. She had 3 blocks, John. She's so long when you look at her. This reminds me a little bit of me here back in her early days at South Carolina.
Yeah, she's 6'1", 6'2". Long, but extremely skilled, can play 1 through 4 for the Gamecocks. I rarely think that she'll play 4 unless South Carolina goes with a small lineup, but is extremely smooth with her game.
It's 2 out of 3. Donahue on the drive. She traveled.
Bowling Green has to make sure that they are taking care of that ball against the South Carolina, because every time you turn the ball over, it gives them another possession to get themselves in rhythm, to get their pace going, to get themselves in their comfort zone, and that's when things get scary.
And the Falcons have had 4 straight turnovers. They had 23 against the Raging Cajuns down in Lafayette.
Now, what I will say in that game, about 7 of them were offensive fouls. So things that they can clean up and control.
Strong move from Okote. Couldn't get it to go.
And honestly, that's one of the few touches we've seen Okote have in the game, simply because she gets in foul trouble quickly, and so she's not out there to showcase what she's capable of.
Latson runs the floor. And 1.
Tania Latson, a blur in the open floor. And one thing we don't talk about more with her is her body control. She was able to absorb the contact and finish and keep her eyes on the rim all the way down, no matter how she landed.
It's a nice outlet pass as well from Raven Johnson. If you're on the floor with Raven Johnson, John, you're running because she's going to find you in stride.
Well, Latson and Raven Johnson have got a lot of history together, played high school ball, AAU ball together, so they have ESP, if you will, where they know where the other is on the floor at all times.
It's a 13-2 lead for the Gamecocks. Kohler. High arc and three won't go. And again, it's Johnson-Olaxon.
You see it, right?
I see it.
It's like they can feel where the other is. They've had so much experience together. It makes it so difficult to mark one or the other.
And Laxon says she feeds off of Raven Johnson's energy. Someone who, when she walks into the room, she just lights it up. That ends the run, a three-pointer for the Falcons. Trying to get it inside to Edwards, but it's a turnover. Bland Fitzpatrick. Rebound for Okote. Johnson finds Okote. Another and-one opportunity for the Gamecocks.
See how aggressive Raven Johnson has been, using that ball screen to the best of her ability. As soon as you see right there in the open floor, threading the needle, Tania Latson catches it one hand as if they've done this years and years. And then you see the ball screen action, finding Okote for the big-time finish to go to the
free. The head coach for Bowling Green, a winning record and a postseason berth in year one, WNIT berth as well, increased the win total by 2 in year 2. Of course, he was previously an assistant at South Carolina from 2015 to 2023 for national championships. 6-time SEC champion. He's also an assistant coach in the WNBA for the Charlotte Sting in 2005, where he coached Dawn Staley. They have a connection that goes way back. Staley was a veteran at the point guard. She finished her playing career in 2006. And then Staley added Shamil to her staff at Temple. They coached together for 2 seasons from 2006 to 2008. When Staley left for South Carolina, Shamil went out west to San Diego State. But John, they would reunite in Columbia. To mention Shamil on the staff from 2015 to 2023, saw all sorts of success. The lowest they finished in any of those seasons was the Sweet 16.
Yeah, they have been through a lot together, as you can tell. Coach Shamil being one of the assistants for Coach Dawn Staley when she was making her transition. You knew that she was thinking about coaching after her career, and she brought him along after that, and they stayed together because they have a wealth of knowledge between the two of them, and it led to championships with them. And so that's a relationship that will always go down in history between those two.
Coach Staley talked to us about his work ethic. He had great energy to be around. He's always eager to learn and to teach. (18-5) lead for South Carolina. They have 14 paint points, John, 11 on the fast break.
Yeah, and we talked about Bowling Green trying to dictate and manage pace here against South Carolina. One of those ways they can do that is by taking care of the ball, not giving it to them, because even on a missed shot, South Carolina is gone out in the open floor. And so Bowling Green has to get their transition defense in play to be able to stop them so that they can get South Carolina in the half court.
The height of McKeer really affected that shot from Miller. 13 on the shot clock for the Falcons. Here's the freshman, Kiara Miller. Finds Kohler for 3. In and out. Rebound is tracked down by Joyce Edwards. McKeer, a spin move. Tried to get it to Dowda. Her pass was intercepted.
Yeah, beautiful move, but that's one of those situations where you got to stay down on 2 feet. She's a freshman, so she hasn't learned yet, but always playing in the air can be a problem.
Bland Fitzpatrick. Tough shot. Draws contact.
The Bowling Green, one thing they do well is when they turn that corner, they are hunting for their shots. They're hunting for layups and seeing how deep they can get into the lane before the defense stops them.
Janiyah Bland Fitzpatrick will head to the line. Junior forward from New London, Connecticut. Only had 1 point in the season opener. She started the game, John, played just 4 minutes, picked up 3 fouls, a couple of turnovers. It was a tough start. She's a transfer from Seton Hall, 37 games off the bench combined the last 2 years there, playing for the Pirates.
Yeah, she's ultra aggressive, athletic, quick, loves to get downhill, which is why she's starting. She thrives on paint touches.
Johnson in the corner. Can't hit. The whistle will go against the Gamecocks. Isla McDowell picks up her first. Some pressure here from the Gamecocks defense. They only allowed 54 points to Grand Canyon. The Lope shot just 27% on Monday against South Carolina. Gamecocks blocked 6 shots in that one for 17 turnovers. And there's a block shot for Joyce Edwards. And yet with those numbers, John, Coach Staley still wanted to see the defense improve.
Well, it's all about the connection between them. They have to communicate better. They have to rotate quicker. They have to make sure that they know their assignments. Whatever the scout sheet says, do I stunt harder on this player? Do I stunt less on this player? All those things matter with South Carolina as far as having that efficient defense against their best version of competition.
Well, they're frustrating Bowling Green so far in this one.
See right there, Joyce Edwards getting in the recovery there. Raven Johnson was out of the fray for a quick second on that offensive rebound by Donahue, and Joyce was able to recover and help her teammate out. And that's what we talked about with the connectivity on defense.
Glenn Fitzpatrick off the mark. Latson. They get inside to Edwards. Now kick to the corner. McKeer.
I've never seen a player give a half pump fake. They didn't bring it down. It was like a half pump fake. Recognized that she was open and then said, let me just go ahead and follow through. That's what we talk about with her skill. Even though she's 6'1", she's extremely, extremely gifted and talented.
Bowling Green, meanwhile, has missed their last 7 shots. They won't get a shot off. Oh, maybe they will. Off the mark from Ellis. Latson showing off the skills. Edwards finds some space. McKeer, an offensive rebound. Oh, great feed. Edwards to McDowell. That draws the foul.
Yeah, you see it right there. South Carolina puts so much pressure on the paint. Everybody implodes in, and so now you get that wide open shot from McKeer. And you see Joyce Edwards playing the facilitating role, helping her teammate get to the free throw line.
Fouls on Ellis. She picks up her first. Edwards gets a nice hand as she checks out. Isla McDowell, true on the first. She was impressive in her debut against Grand Canyon. 17 minutes off the bench, 9 points, 2 rebounds. 3-level scorer. Break yet for South Carolina, number 22 in the class of 2025.
She's a big guard with tools. She really can get after you.
Glenn Fitzpatrick. This is Cecil. Tough to find space against the longer Gamecocks, John.
Yeah, not much you can do about that. South Carolina has the luxury of putting a ton of pressure on the paint, on the perimeter, making you drive, Beautiful pass from McCoat.
Oxen McKeer. All Gamecocks so far, they lead 25-7. Kohler weaves her way inside, now kicks it out. Shot won't go for Bland Fitzpatrick. Cope brought it up.
That's her second time.
Wide open, it's McDowell. Offensive rebound for O'Coat. Now an open look for McKeer. Another opportunity for South Carolina. Contact, no call. McDowell from the floor finds McKeer.
South Carolina relentless on the offensive boards. It's just so tough to get yourself one and dones defensively against this team. Even when the shot is not going in, they are finding ways to keep the ball alive and in their favor.
Time ticking down here at the end of the first quarter. Tough shot, won't go for Kohler. And that's how the first quarter will end. It was a highlight reel quarter for the Gamecocks. How about McDowell from the floor, John, as she found McKeer. Which centers on the value of the whole person or group beyond the commonly measured scale. Players' value to the team not measured solely by her stat line, but also myriad of other ways she elevates the team. Championships, I should say, and awards. Not valued because they yield a trophy, but also because they lift up a university, a city, a state. The value of the fans, who they call FAMs here in Columbia. They support the team around the country. It's more than the value of ticket sales. It's just the way they form a community here that supersedes all of the differences. And more broadly, beyond measure, John, it's a reminder that the ceiling of the team and its players, that of women's basketball as a sport, will always shatter any limitations that others may place on it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. It's not just a slogan. It's a standard, man. I mean, it's their effort, their toughness, how they are connected. It becomes contagious all the way around the community as well as the institution.
Get inside to O'Coat. Loose ball. Tracked down the corner by the Gamecocks. O'Coat rips it away and finishes.
You see, O'Coat is not one of those players that's just big for naught. Like, she's a player that plays with an extreme engine when she is out there. She never gave up on the play, kept going, wanted the ball more than her opponent, and was able to find herself a layup from that.
You talked about it in the open, John, but Coach Staley told us that O'Coat is the strongest player that she's ever had. Unfortunately, you only have her for 1 year, so the growth has to be immediate in this system.
Yeah, she's definitely pushing her to reach her goals. She's one of those players that wants to play beyond just college basketball, and she came to South Carolina to get herself that opportunity to be ready for that next level, for the W. And so you see why she's here. You see each game she's improving. Don Staley is pushing her, encouraging her, challenging her to be that next level type of player.
And she's enjoying playing for Coach Staley. She said Coach Staley's just a very good coach. I feel so good being around her. She knows how to talk to the players when you're frustrated, when you have good days and bad days. She knows how to talk to players through that. She said, for example, I've been having maybe some issues with communication because I'm originally from Africa, and sometimes they struggle to get my English, but she's making sure that they're getting that right.
You love that. And you know that you have to have communication in order to win the game of basketball, in order to win in life.
Cecil off the mark. A rebound for O'Coat. Touchdown pass is off the mark. Trying to get it to Dowda. Just out of her reach. Tessa Johnson checks back in. She had 2 early fouls for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, she did. McKeer came in extremely early because of that. And so Tessa Johnson has not been able to get out there and show what she's capable of.
She's capable of being a high-level scorer. Dropped 19 in the season opener against Grand Canyon.
Well, I'm telling you this, man. I saw her in shoot-around. She barely missed a shot. Oh, Colt keeping it alive.
Johnson, she goes one-on-one. Offensive rebound. Put back no good for Dowda. A whistle. She'll head to the line.
Miriam Dowda is getting better with each game she plays. She has so much potential, great size on the boards, and that veteran depth is what's needed for this Gamecock unit.
Dowda did not score in the season opener. She has scored tonight. Now 2 for 3 from the line. 3 for 4. Paige Kohler, who plays a ton of minutes, over 2,000 in her career. Her junior season has just begun. Played 38 minutes in the opener on Monday. She averaged 35 per game last season.
I'll say this, she's got a lot of miles on those bones, but she plays with a ton of experience and pace, and that's because Coach Shamel trusts her out there to run their system.
Ellis inside, bothered by the length of Okote. Johnson, allowed to Okote. Finish from in close.
I'll say this, I mean, there's a plus in that as well because Okote ran the floor. And the fact that Raven Johnson was able to see her in the open floor was huge and wanted to reward her with that pass.
Okote has 7 rebounds already. That shot misses. The putback is there for Miriam Dowda. Make that 8 rebounds now for Okote.
That's why it's so difficult to beat this South Carolina team. The amount of size they have in the interior, they're going to put a ton of pressure on that perimeter and make it tough.
Fast break. Leads to the bucket from McDowell. Brings us to immediate timeout with 6:35 left to go in the second. A big lead for the Gamecocks. They lead Bowling Green 36-9. Okote already, John, with 5 points, 8 rebounds, and assists, and a block.
Yeah, and you see this assist right here. She said, I'm a big guard out here on the floor. Right here, absorbing the contact, getting herself the and one, and here just letting Bowling Green know that she lifts out here and was strong with the big-time finish.
Coach Staley said that she gives the front court additional size and speed, the ability to score, rebound, and defend. Her competitiveness and SEC experience are added bonuses, and they need her to be dominant this season. They won't go very far, she said, if we don't have her contributing. It's going to take a little bit of time for her to get there fully, but we're going to push her towards that. Just figuring out where and when those buttons are, John, to push.
Yeah, these games are pivotal for her, where she is getting her feet under her, understanding the system, understanding what it takes to be effective, efficient out there. When she's out there, it makes it a lot easier on both ends of the floor for South Carolina. The guards can play up, force hard drives. They drive right into Okote. She blocks the shot, and now they're out for the races. On the offensive end, she's able to post up, establish positioning. You can't push her off that block. All she has to do is drop, step, and finish. And she's starting to get those opportunities now that she's out there on the floor and not in foul trouble.
She's still pretty new to basketball. Didn't start playing until 2020, so her ceiling is so high. Kohler. It's been a struggle so far for the Bowling Green star. Just 1 for 8 from the field.
Well, you understand why. I mean, she's got guards guarding her that are 6 foot, 5'11", 5'10", 6'1", and so on a possession basis, she is struggling to get herself that open space she's looking for.
Latson draws contact. She'll head to the line. You look at the 36 points so far for South Carolina. 18 from the starters, 18 from the bench. It's been a complete team effort so far, John.
Yeah, and when you look at a player like Tessa Johnson that had to sit out a majority of that first quarter, you think, who's the next player up? And they easily can fill those voids. If somebody does get in foul trouble, they can make it happen. The last few games, Ocote has been in foul trouble. It's been the next player up, the next Gamecock up, to be able to fill that void and find a way to continue to put points in the basket. One thing we know about the South Carolina team is they really can score the ball and at a high clip, and right now they're showcasing their depth.
And they'll need that depth at the point guard position tonight. Maddie McDaniel, we don't expect to play, so it's going to be a little bit of everybody backing up Raven Johnson, a little bit of Tessa Johnson, a little bit of McKeer, a little bit of Latson playing the point. All the guards on the floor, they've taken their turns in playing that position. Foul called on the Gamecocks. We'll send Bland Fitzpatrick to the line. 3-minute scoring drought for the Falcons. Bland Fitzpatrick will try to end that.
And she stayed aggressive, really working to turn the corner on her defenders and see if she can get that paint touch by any means necessary. And this time it got her to the free throw line.
Which 12 minutes per game last season for Seton Hall. It's a Pirates team that went 23-10. Johnson with a head of steam.
Raven Johnson showing that poise, that patience at the point guard position, recognizing that she had the lane. One thing that I also saw was that she noticed that the weak side was going to be late there, and she had a full head of steam to get downhill and finish.
Edwards asking for it in the post. Johnson got it to her for the easy bucket.
You can see that South Carolina is making it a point of emphasis to get those post entries early in today's game, get themselves going. The last few games, it has been, they have struggled to get those post entries, but now with Bowling Green spreading out a little bit more, comparative to Grand Canyon that compacted their defense, made it tough for them to get those entries in. South Carolina had to prove to teams that they can shoot the ball. So you're seeing a different aspect of South Carolina's gifts.
Johnson picks up her second foul. She checks out. McKeer is back in. Paige Kohler. To the corner, and Gherkin. Lauren Gherkin, the sophomore from Findlay, Ohio, had a double-double against Louisiana, 11 points and 10 rebounds. Didn't start in that one, but played 35 minutes for her first career double-double. It was a team best plus 17. It was a nice start to her freshman year last year. She averaged over 7 points, 4.5 rebounds, had a 20-point game against Stetson, and then, John, that season-ending foot injury after 10 games. They're happy to get her back this year.
Yeah, Coach Shamel is excited about her because of how she plays with great pace, how she is able to stretch the floor from three, and how effective she is out there on the floor.
Speaking of effective, Kohler getting to the bucket, but couldn't convert. She's a workhorse.
Yeah, she's not going to stop going at South Carolina. She is fearless out there. We talk about because of the amount of experience that she has, she understands even if she's having a slow start, she can find a way to get into a rhythm somehow, some way.
Preseason All-MAC first team. Johnson, she'll take it herself.
And a great take from Johnson. No help came towards it because at the end of the day, Adele Tack was there. And so you wanted to put more pressure on that roll man than the driver.
It was in and out for Gherkin. McKeer makes her move. Stops, pops, and hits.
See how skilled she is. How well of a shot maker she could be as she continues to get games under her belt.
She's got 11 points already, 4 for 6 from the field. Offensive rebound, another opportunity. This time it's Cecil. A third try, that won't go. And a turnover here. It's Fern ahead of the pack.
A little miscommunication there from South Carolina. You're going to get those types of mistakes from time to time, especially newer players. Oh, beautiful teardrop floater from Joyce Edwards.
Smooth for Edwards. She has 10. Now 7 of their last 8. Kohler the floater. Unable to respond. Edwards finds a cutting Johnson. It's Donahue the other way for the Falcons. Gherkin inside the key. It's short. Johnson from the corner. A whistle that will go against the Gamecocks. Okote and McDowell check back in for South Carolina. The foul's on Adele Tack. She picks up her first. Tack and McKeer exit. A 32-point lead for South Carolina as we approach 2 minutes to go in the half. Fern for 3. Laxton Skies for the rebound. She's in a hurry. Goes behind the back. Tessa Johnson.
One of the prettiest mid-range pull-ups I've seen in the game. I mean, she really can get to her spots, get to her footwork. It just tells you how skilled she really is.
Johnson, a former Minnesota Gatorade Player of the Year. 2,000-point scorer in high school.
That's difficult, man. I worked my life off just to get 1,000. Now, you know how hard I work for 1,000? That means the game has got to be extremely easy for her.
Coach Staley talked about how hard she's been working this season. That time she feeds Okote. Good look from Tessa Johnson.
Beautiful pass from Tessa Johnson there, showcasing her court vision. See Tessa Johnson getting to her spots, making the defender think that she's going up for that mid-range jumper, but finds Okote, knowing that she's towering over everybody else on the floor, putting it right where she can catch it and finish.
Johnson playing the role of point right now. She has such a high basketball IQ. Hits the floor. Able to get it to McDowell. And South Carolina calls timeout. Dawn Staley, her 18th season as the head coach for South Carolina. 3 national championships. 2017, 2022, and 2024. She's led Carolina 5 straight NCAA Final Fours. It's always interesting when you talk to the visiting coaches on our calls, John, the respect that they all have for Coach Staley. When we talked to Coach Shamil, who of course worked for Coach Staley, we asked him about his program, right, and what he wanted us to promote on our broadcast, if we could help him promote something. He passed over that opportunity and said, I want you to talk about Coach Staley and what she's meant to college basketball. He said, I just want the fans South Carolina to appreciate what Dawn has done there. It's just so incredible. He said, you know, I actually came there when I was working at Penn State. We beat them. Could have, you know, thrown a grenade up in the stands and wouldn't have hurt anybody. But now, for the last decade, she's built this incredible fan base and this appreciation for women's basketball and this platform. They're all so appreciative of what she's done for the game.
Yeah, she's a culture starter here at South Carolina, something that people haven't seen in a long time as far as going to an area. And you got to thank South Carolina for believing in her movement, believing in that dream that she had to put bodies in the stands every game.
Good-looking shot from Emily Cecil, senior guard in New Washington, Ohio. She had 3 points in the opener against Louisiana. Johnson for three. Got it.
It's only a matter of time for Tessa Johnson.
Johnson was 3 for 6 from behind the arc in the opener against Grand Canyon. Harrison runs out of time, and that's how the first half will end. John, a pretty dominant first half for the Gamecocks. They lead 55-19.
Absolutely. Compared to the Grand Canyon game, we got to see how South Carolina can impact the game. Yeah, absolutely. They won the SEC regular championship, regular season championship, tournament championship, and NCAA national runner-up. And for most people, you would think that is a fantastic accolade. But if you look up here at Colonial Life Arena and you see those banners, you understand that that is not the final product of what South Carolina wants to put out there on the table. And so they are, like I said before, on their revenge tour where they are looking to make a statement this season in the United States.
Well, in recent history, when they've suffered defeat in the end, they've come back with a vengeance, John.
Yeah, man, they lose one, and whether it's in a Final Four or a national championship, they always find a way that following year with a renewed sense of urgency. We call it the revenge tour, where they are going out there and putting people on notice. And so this year, I think, will be just like that, and I know that they have the personnel to do so.
Well, this year's roster is smaller in numbers, but not in stature. 3 Naismith Award watch list members. That's out of a list of 50 nationwide, John.
Yeah, I mean, all these players here can absolutely go. Tanaya Latson, one of the most prolific scorers in the nation. We got to see a little taste of that on Monday of what she can do, whether she's attacking the basket or knocking down an open three or facilitating. We saw Joyce Edwards, a prolific post hybrid. She can play multiple positions, guard multiple positions. She's a matchup nightmare for your primary big, or if you want to go smaller on her, she can post you up. And finally, Raven Johnson. She is the leader of this team, the heart and soul, their primary defender. She's guarding the best player. She's picking you up 94 feet, causing chaos. And now what we're seeing is her ability to step into an open shot and make it. So she definitely worked in the summertime, and you can see it the way she's shooting the ball.
And McKeer, Joyce Edwards, John, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks in the first half.
Yeah, Joyce Edwards was all over the floor in that first half, really just blocking shots, facilitating, posting up, establishing herself early in the post. And then also you see there the guard ability, that nice drive and teardrop floater.
Meanwhile, Agat McKeer did a little of everything as well. 11 points, 3 rebounds, and a block shot.
She's silky smooth out there. Right there, you saw it. Was able to keep the ball alive. Isla McDowell found her here, rejecting the screen, showing that little nice jumper. And then here, maybe not, she's going to make that 3-point shot. And so right now, she's showcasing a little bit of everything that she's got in her arsenal.
Stats comparison, it's pretty drastic, John. Look at that top field goal number.
And listen, if I am Coach Shamel, the shots that they did get off, the ones that they missed, that they ran their offense tight, they ran it smooth, the shot just didn't go in. And they got the shots that they wanted out of that. And so now it's just locking in and focusing on the small opportunities that South Carolina gets you off of some of those mistakes and capitalizing on them.
And your keys to the second half, how can Coach Shamil and the Falcons get back in this one?
They've got to take care of the ball. They had so many turnovers in that first half. They did not really run their sets fluid the entire half. They had a couple of good possessions, but for the most part, just taking care of the ball when South Carolina puts that pressure on them in the perimeter.
Anything you want to see different from the Gamecocks in this half?
Well, I assume that Bowling Green is going to start protecting the paint more. I could see them throwing their 1-3-1 press out there a little bit just to slow them down and make South Carolina have to think and do, and just continue to try to disrupt their rhythm. They didn't do a good job of that in the first half. In the second half, they're going to try to throw some actions at them that might put them in some unrest.
Edwards looking for help. Gets it in Okote. Defense from the Falcons. Okote stays with it and converts.
Never gives up on the play, continually going after that loose ball. And she's dealing with a lot of active hands around her and still finding a way to put the ball in the basket.
Contact. And Donahue will head to the line.
Here's something that you got to do when you're recruiting your team. Players that are implemented into the dribble drive motion, right? You got to get players that know how to draw fouls. Donahue has done a good job of using her body. She's a straight line driver, put her shoulders into the defender's chest and found a way to get herself 2 free ones.
She's coming off a solid freshman season. Was MAC all freshman team, all defensive team. She led the conference in steals, had 3 of those in the season opener. In fact, she was named Female Freshman of the Year at the Ziggies. That's the athletic department's year-end awards ceremony. Gets the second to go. Johnson to Ladson. We've said that before, John.
That was off of an inbound. That wasn't off of a turnover or anything of that nature. That was literally off of the ball being inbounded and Raven Johnson finding an open Latson for an easy layup.
How about the tough off-balance response from Paige Kohler?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kohler, we talked about, she's an experienced guard. She's going to continue to hunt her shots.
Another look at Johnson to Latson.
Yeah, put it right there where Latson didn't even have to take an additional dribble or anything like that. All she had to do was just finish the shot.
Now 5 assists for Raven Johnson. She had 7 assists to just 1 turnover in the opener. Edwards wanted an and 1 there.
Yeah, because when she got up in the air, you know, there was kind of like a box out there. So she didn't have a clear landing after the finish.
Kiera Miller against Tessa Johnson. Feeds it inside. Oh, block from Medina Okote. She denied Ellis.
And you see, this is the game that Don Staley was hoping for, where Okote could really get into her arsenal, into her bag, where she's able to get stops consistently, but also offensively start to get herself some confidence.
It's been a physical matchup between the 2 number 11s. Here's Ellis for Bowling Green. She's on the floor, and it's a turnover. Raven Johnson the other way. 3-on-2. Tessa Johnson. Off the mark. Edwards tracks down. Johnson. Oh, she drills it.
Something that Raven Johnson is going to be more cognitive about is her shot. She's going to let folks know that she is not afraid to take it this year.
It's a tough shot there. Edwards. She's been a menace all game long, John.
Yeah, she has. I mean, it's just been the bigs of South Carolina really taking over this game.
Edwards has a game-high 14. Flying in for the rebound is Ellis. Gives the Falcons another opportunity. A nice feed to Bland Fitzpatrick. Edwards, established position inside. It's becoming too easy for Joyce Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, all she's doing is just establishing the space that she wants. And the thing about South Carolina is they have guard play that really can pass the ball and put you in a place where all you got to do is catch it and finish.
Kohler kicks it, An open look for Donahue. Johnson. Edwards draws contact, and she will head to the free throw line. Joyce Edwards has 16 points, John. She's 8 for 9 from the floor.
Part of that is Joyce Edwards is running the floor. When she runs the floor, she doesn't have to work as hard to establish that positioning. She's just getting to her spot and letting her teammates find her.
Her first free throw attempt of the night. She was 3 for 4 on opening night against Grand Canyon. Misses the first. The foul was called on Kiara Miller, who picks up her second. Joyce Edwards was South Carolina's leading scorer last season as a freshman. Was named first team All-SEC. She was second in the league in field goal percentage in SEC play, 57.2%. A terrific freshman season. Kohler looking for help. Finds it in Ellis. A little too strong for Taya Ellis. Battle on the floor. It's a kick ball. And it'll be South Carolina basketball.
That's South Carolina's plan out there, which is to constrict Bowling Green on one side of the floor. They couldn't get the ball to the left side.
Your leading scorers so far for the Gamecocks, Edwards, McKeer, and Okote. Johnson.
Beautiful. Nice little shifty move there from Raven Johnson.
Glenn Fitzpatrick. She was met by Joyce Edwards. How about a little scoop off the glass, John?
Nice little crossover. Goofy foot finish before she met Paige Kohler down there. And so that's a skill, man.
All-around numbers again, superb for Raven Johnson so far. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Just filling up the stat sheet.
Looking like Russell Westbrook out there, doing a little bit of everything.
And she and Joyce Edwards will get a rest. Gamecocks now have 7 blocks, 1 for Bowling Green. Bland Fitzpatrick, now Kohler. Guarded closely by Tessa Johnson. Almost a steal. Instead, it's loose on the floor. But it will be a shot clock violation. Nothing doing on that possession for Bowling Green.
Yeah, just stifling defense from South Carolina. We haven't really seen Bowling Green really run any of their actions, and it's been difficult because of the pressure that South Carolina has put on them. They're making them ice their handoffs, keeping them on one side of the floor, and they can't run their stuff.
It's whipped inside to Dowda. A foul called on Bowling Green. Miriam Dowda to the line. Hits the first. Dowda, her father played professional basketball in Belgium. Said his knowledge of the game helped her fall in love with basketball. She was born in Nigeria but moved to the U.S. when she was 12. Several internationals, John, in this roster for the Gamecocks. Tried to get it to Donahue. It's a turnover. Latson lowers the shoulder. Glenn Fitzpatrick. A nice feed to Cook. It won't go. It'll stay with Bowling Green. And we'll take a break. From inside CLA, South Carolina leads Bowling Green 73-24. Terrific tonight. Talked about what she's improved upon this season. John, she said just being more comfortable, a little more versatile in a different role this year. So she's trying to do a little bit more of everything and just embracing that role.
Yeah, her versatility has been put in full display. One thing we're seeing that she is doing incredible is running the floor. If she's not the one to get the rebound, even if she gets the rebound, she is sprinting the floor so that she can get herself easy baskets. You usually don't see sophomores understand the game as quickly as she has, but she has. And getting those baskets easy, she can get a double-double in her sleep if she plays like that.
And she's still so young. Coach Staley said you're going to see her have some spectacular games. May see her come down to earth a little bit, but it won't stop her from competing at a really high level. That's where we want her to be. She's someone who loves to be challenged, has high standards, as Joyce is a star, and carries herself that way, practices that way, and expects nothing but to have the type of performances that meet that standard. Kohler. Donahue, who's that off of? It's off of Bowling Green, so South Carolina basketball.
Yeah, Bowling Green, they'll have a lot to work on when they get back. One of those things is being cleaner on the handoffs. Right now, there's going to be teams that scout them to try to blow up their handoffs. You got to have a way or figure out a way to make sure you're strong with that ball.
Well, Latson ran into a roadblock, but Okote comes up with the loose ball and converts for South Carolina.
Yeah, she's just active out there. I mean, you were really seeing her. If there's a loose ball, she's fighting for it.
She's got 11 points. Inside, that's Jaden Cook, the junior forward from Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, Jaden Cook plays physical, likes to establish herself down there in the post. She could be big for Bowling Green.
Johnson, so smooth.
So smooth, man. I mean, she can score in the areas that most players cannot. We call it those kill zone areas, the area before the primary defender that's guarding you can recover and the secondary defender can get to you.
Meanwhile, Bland Fitzpatrick gets the bounce. Another look at the bucket from Tessa Johnson. Johnson with 9 points, 5 rebounds. Concern right now for Legat McKeer, comes up limping. And they already have McDaniel, who's out tonight, John.
Yeah, they have McDaniel out with I think it's like a bone bruise to the knee, but she's in good shape. We saw her warming up today, getting herself ready to go. But at the same time, Coach Don Staley is going to be hesitant on that kind of stuff. She didn't practice yesterday, so she's probably not going to hit the floor.
In and out on the free throw from McKeer. Here's what happened to Legat. Hopefully she's okay. Hits the second. She'll check out. She'll be replaced by Raven Johnson. It's a 50-point lead for the Gamecocks. Bland Fitzpatrick. Now Miller. Kohler got to the paint, kicked it out. And the bounce goes in for Kiera Miller, the freshman guard out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, Coach Shamel has high hopes for Miller.
Well, she started the season opener at Louisiana, 23 minutes, shot it well. She was a 1,000-point scorer in high school. Also set her school's assists record. Raven Johnson to the line. The foul was called on Miller, who picks up her third. Johnson, who had a 3.3 assist to turnover ratio in SEC games last year, best in program history. Done that her whole career.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, she can take care of the ball. She's got great court vision. Always looking to see if she can get her teammates involved. But adding that aspect of being more aggressive, seeing if she can get those paint touches and score, seeing if the defender goes under the screen, she makes him pay. Things like that that open up more opportunities for her to create.
Donahue found a lane. Got the bucket for the Falcons. Latson, 1-on-2, it's in and out. .159 to go in the third quarter. Donahue. Kohler brings it back out. Now the floater, and it goes for Paige Kohler. She's got 7 points.
And you can tell, and she has not stopped working. She is going to hunt. She's going to continue to battle for that area, that space to score.
How about that move from Dowda?
Yeah, Dowda, she rarely gets the opportunity to play against other bigs. Most of the time she's got little guards, pests that are swarming around her. That time she was able to get an isolation.
Kohler against McDowell. Trying to do it herself, but defense from South Carolina, John, they force a tough shot.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, even if you can find a small lane, it's going to be contested. And then if you miss it, you're most likely not going to get that offensive rebound.
Donahue can't get the roll. Johnson finds Edwards. Lost it for a moment. The Gamecocks recover. Edwards in traffic. She converts.
Yeah, I mean, that was way too long for Bowling Green not to have gotten back on defense. It was almost like they knew that the fast break was going into the layup.
Oh, the third quarter runs out on Bowling Green. The redshirt senior, Raven Johnson. John, she's got 8 assists so far.
Yeah, always looking for the open man, and right there she found Tania Latson for an easy basket here, finding Joyce Edwards. You know, threading the tightrope for a nice finish.
Gamecock has 54 assists in 17 games. Most career steals in NCAA tournament games, 30 steals in 17 games. She's currently 10th on the all-time career assist list at South Carolina with 417 assists in 115 games. Can add 8 to that total. She has 8 so far tonight. And she's 5th in career assists in SEC-only games, 166 in 48 games. Probably set a few more records, John, before her season's over here at South Carolina.
Yeah, run it back Raven right now. I mean, I know that Don Saley is through the moon regarding her coming back. And she has definitely left a mark that is unparalleled for South Carolina.
Anytime you get a 5th-year winner back in your program, it's a great job of running the offense. Something to be happy with. Ellis. Kohler. Now Donahue. Kohler for 3. The bucket for Janiah Bland-Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Bland-Fitzpatrick, she plays extremely hard. Great motor.
She's got 10 points now for Bowling Green. First Falcon in double digits. McDowell.
That's one of those plays where you're like, at Hell Tech, go ahead and up for the basket. But then when she passes it out and Isla McDowell makes that pass worthwhile, you don't get as upset.
She's got 7 points. She first made 3 of the night. Kiera Miller stepped out of bounds. It's a turnover for Bowling Green. Johnson, sack, Edwards, Tessa Johnson, and McDowell on the floor for the Gamecocks. Tessa Johnson misses from the corner. Tack, an offensive rebound, finds Edwards inside, triple teamed. So she dishes, and it's a turnover for South Carolina.
Good idea from Joyce Edwards, but definitely see that Bowling Green is coming out in this last quarter, really trying to up the physicality, up the aggression.
Scoop is good for Donahue.
And Donahue has been one of the bright spots for Bowling Green. It's just continually finding ways to put the ball in the basket.
Bullseye from Tessa Johnson.
Can't let her set him. When feet get set, it's over.
Kohler working on Johnson, runs out of room. Miller for 3. Got it.
Good looking shot from Miller there. Had a matchup that tickled her fancy there. What a great pass to Del Tack.
Rewarding the big for running the floor. Raining threes lately, John, inside CLA.
Yeah, great find from Joyce Edwards. Understanding that the double team was coming to her, and Tessa Johnson was open for that 3. And you see here, a big 3. There hasn't been a lot of opportunities for Bowling Green, but that's one of the few that they were able to seize a matchup that worked in their favor.
Deflected out of bounds by Bowling Green. 96 points so far for South Carolina. All 9 players have scored. Complete team effort. Edwards will head back to the line. An opportunity for a 3-point play.
Joyce Edwards is having one of those games. She's just been so active tonight.
She's one of 6 Gamecocks in double figures. Hers a team high. 24 points now for Joyce Edwards. Landon Fitzpatrick picked up her 3rd foul. Dowda will replace Edwards. Gherkin passed him the 3.
That was a great stunt from Isla McDowell. Those things that don't show up in the stat sheet to alter the run, the drive.
Tessa Johnson continues to be unstoppable for South Carolina.
Yeah, mid-range Tessa, man. She gets to that 1 or 2 dribble pull-up, and it's automatic.
Top shooter on the team, led the Gamecocks in 3-point percentage, free throw percentage a season ago. Drives baseline, finds Tack. Another opportunity courtesy of Tessa Johnson. She has it ripped away by Bland Fitzpatrick. Puts a move on Johnson. Johnson with the rebound, has her pocket picked. Falcons can't convert.
Those are those ones you have to have. This is the time frame of the game where things can get sloppy. South Carolina struggled in the last couple of possessions of taking care of the ball. Raven
Johnson will get a rest, gets a nice hand. And we have immediate timeout here in Columbia. 5:50 left to go. South Carolina over 100. They lead Bowling Green 101-42.
Control their controllables. How hard are you playing? How are you continually to get better in your rotations on defense? Not giving up on plays. And so far we haven't seen that. And when you're getting beat like this, sometimes you can see that morale kind of leave the team. They're still out there playing. Or the players that are going to go out there and play like Coach Shamel wants, they're going to go out there and play the way he asked.
I mentioned that South Carolina has 6 players in double figures. The last time that happens, January 9th, last season. Against Texas A&M. Gherkin for 3. Fight for the rebound. It's won by Tessa Johnson. She's bumped. The foul's going to go against Kohler. Johnson feeds Okote inside for 2.
Johnson threading the needle there.
Ten seconds for Kohler. Ball makes its way to Donahue. More tremendous defense from South Carolina. But we have a travel called on Isla McDowell.
I got to see that one again.
Well, they sort this out. We have a timeout on the floor. 4:53 to go. South Carolina leads 103-42. Lead for South Carolina over Bowling Green. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule here for Bowling Green. A couple of tough ones coming up. John, next up, the Wisconsin Badgers on the road.
Ooh. But I will say the style of play may be more conducive to what they do. And honestly, when you play against South Carolina, you don't have any more fear in your heart.
Coach Shamil mentioned to us his goals for year 3. He said just to fulfill our potential. He said if we can do that, I think we're pretty good. I think we can win the MAC. I think we can get into the NCAA tournament. Those are our aspirations. So I don't think there's anything standing between that and us, except us. I think they're, a really hard-working group. They want it, so I'm looking forward to the season and the challenges ahead. See what we can make of it. Obviously, their toughest challenge of the season tonight at number 2 South Carolina. Gherkin. And whistle that will go against the Gamecocks.
And just piggybacking off of what you're saying, I mean, they do have the pieces that make sense to win the MAC. I mean, they've got skill, they've got shooters, drivers. That dribble drive is so tough to deal with because no matter what, as long as they execute the little things, they're going to get those paint touches that they're looking for. They just got to come together. They got 9 returners, so they've got more experience than most teams out there now with the whole transfer portal culture. So they have the pieces.
And it's 9 returners from an 18-win team. Rebound is tracked down by Latson. McDowell nails it. I really like her game, John.
Absolutely. It's just because she's not going to do anything that flashes you. She just makes the right basketball play. And then on the defensive end, her ability to guard all those positions, every position, she may end up guarding depending on who's on the floor. She's just tough.
Speaking of tough, Latson draws contact. She'll head to the line. 24th time that South Carolina has scored 100+ in a single game under Coach Staley. Quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's big time. I mean, it didn't even feel like they were scoring. They've got to 106, but a lot of that's due to how they've gotten their points. I mean, it's just an extremely fluid. What I mean by that is it's stuff that they already do. It's nothing out of the ordinary. No one had like a hot three-point night. This is all, a lot of this is just how they play basketball.
They played 9 players. 7 of them are in double digits, and another player has 9. Just a complete effort. Fern, she's short. Fern, a good basketball family, John. Father Aaron is the head coach at Charlotte. Her brother played there and is now a grad assistant there.
Yeah, Coach Fern, I've had the luxury of calling a handful of his games down at Charlotte, and stand-up guy, a players coach. Really teaches his team how to play and fight and be aggressive and match with force. And so it's been cool kind of seeing this family tree thing work out. You know, I know his son played for him a couple years back and down at Charlotte. So good little tree there.
He played professionally in Australia. Cairns, Australia is the hometown listed for Jasmine Fern. Here's Cecil. Checked by Latson. Five seconds. Cecil was deflected. Great hustle from Bowling Green. A couple of Falcons collide on the floor. They have possession.
They're not quitting. That's one thing I will say. They're still playing as if, you know, every possession matters, and you got to have that.
Donahue spinning for space. She finds 2. (110-44) is our score with 2.5 to go. It's getting physical late, John.
Yeah, and you see it right now. Bowling Green may not ever have an opportunity to play against a team of this tier. And so they're going to take advantage of every minute they have to play against one of the best teams in the country. And they're not going to lay down.
Fern picks up her first foul. Isla McDowell will head to the line. 2 for 2 from the line so far tonight. 10 points tonight for the freshman. Averaged 19.2 last season at Cypress Springs High School. It's good size, athleticism, able to impact the game on both ends of the floor.
And I really do believe she's going to be really good. Her developmental track.
Moscaine connects.
Coming right into the game and hunting.
Redshirt freshman from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Only played in 3 minutes off the bench in the opener against Louisiana. Getting into this one late. tallest Falcon at 6'2". Tie up. Falcons basketball. Skane will inbound. She joined Bowling Green last season in January and did not see any action. She's played for the under 15, 16, and 17 teams in Brazil. 3-level scorer with some skill. She's in the paint right now. More tremendous defense from South Carolina. Adele sack. She's fouled.
Yeah, these types of games give us the ability to see Adele Tack's offensive abilities. How she uses her pivots and footwork.
Get the bounce on the free throw. Hits the second. Already up to 112 points. That's third most in program history. Looking for more here. It's Tack up to Latson.
Great find from Adele Tack to Tanaya Latson, who was always looking to see if she can get out in the open floor, see if she can get a fast break opportunity.
Most game. 10 seconds for Harrison. Bland Fitzpatrick has it knocked away. It stays with the Falcons. Just 1.3 left on the shot clock. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, and you can definitely assume South Carolina's going to hold that one out unless Bowling Green keeps going at them, but probably try to run out that clock.
Fans their feet here inside Colonial Life Arena as time ticks down on the fourth quarter. The horn sounds, and the game ends. South Carolina defeats Bowling Green 114 to 47. That 114 points, John, tied for second most in program history.
Yeah, impressive feat from South Carolina, really going out there and just playing their game. They didn't play outside themselves. They didn't try to do anything different. Their system got them that 114 points and doing it the right way. And I could see Coach Don Staley will probably be happy with this one. And obviously, back to Bowling Green, they understand what they can work on from this. They never stop fighting. They never stop battling. The shot didn't fall for them when they got their opportunities. And that's something that they can use as they continue to go forward in their play.
For South Carolina, 7 of their 9 players in double digits. They were led by Joyce Edwards with a game high 24. They shoot 63.6% from the field. Bowling Green was led by Bland Fitzpatrick and her 10 points. The Falcons just 24.3 from the field. And they had a tough time, John, against South Carolina's difficult defense.
Yeah, that's a tough team to deal with. Going up just about every play and making it extremely difficult to put the ball in the...
Unfortunately, a guy went down. Do you have any update on her?
Oh, no. No. I mean, she's not crying, so that's a good thing. we wouldn't have played her. No. But she's just loading her up, trying to see how it responds after just doing probably a little bit more than she's done in a couple days.
Obviously, nobody, then you lose a guy. Just what did you see from Isla when you had to give her some extra minutes in the stretch of things there?
I mean, Isla is predictable, and there is nothing more than a coach wants from a freshman is to be predictable. She is in the right places. She can shoot the ball, like defensively. You know, she's not gonna look like a Raven, but her impact. On the ball, off the ball, just she stays in plays and she does what we ask of all of our guards. If you just look at her, she plays it picture perfect.
On this side of you.
Dawn, both Joyce and Isla were in here and said, you know, the focus the last few days has been on defense and discipline on defense. Did you I know it's early, but did you like what you saw tonight that, you know, hey, we can get there?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like we plays out there and the lapses. There were some, but not very many. But you see them just formulating chemistry. We have to be exact right now. And then once they get to know each other, there might be a little bit of wiggle room, you know, with how they play and trusting each other to be, you know, where they're supposed to be, but really encouraging from just bringing our practice habits to the games.
Anything else for Coach? Keep going.
Yeah. I should have asked you this after Monday. You had that challenge in the game against, what do you think of that challenge? I mean, the challenge system, are you looking forward to it this season?
You know, I was on the officiating committee probably 10 years ago. I asked for that. Like football was doing it. I was like, we should do this. And again, a lot of people look at me when I got like I got 10 heads at times, but and I like football. So we could have added, we could have been doing this for 10 years. So yes, I do like it. I still have to educate myself on when we can do it. Because it's not like every play. Like
We'd be here 3 hours.
right.
Hey, Don, I know we talked a lot about defense this week, but this team also, they can score early on in the season. What do you see from the offense so far, and especially the potential that they have offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I see players who can really score individually, right? And I see a team in which it tries to make the right plays. They do make the obvious. We're trying to get them to make the unobvious, you know, instead of dumping it off to a post player to hit the skip. Like the one more skip is a back breaking play, you know, whether you're up 50 or down 10, it gives you a little bit of momentum. It ensures that you're aware of what's happening on the floor and where people are on the floor. And if we can do it, I think Joyce made an incredible pass. She got the ball like in mid post, and she just zinged it right over to Tessa. Like those plays are back breaking plays that we have to add to our offense. And once we start doing those type of things, you know, we're making huge strides. But without doing them, we're putting points on the scoreboard. So we just have to make our players aware of them. And once we make them aware of them, they actually do a really good job at trying to execute that.
Don, you mentioned defense before this game, and then right there in the first quarter, I think it was 4 straight steals, 3 layups, getting passes at midcourt. Just how much was that a product of what y'all focused on, or how much was it just getting in lanes and disrupting those passes?
I mean, we have to work it. Like we have to work it each and every practice. We have to, you know, much like we prepare ourselves for getting ready for an opponent, we also have to prepare ourselves for us getting ready for us and the types of things that we need to do, not necessarily for that particular opponent, but just overall in general and how we need to play. And I'm really proud of them. I'm really proud of how much work they put in over the past 2 days and just see the fruits of their labor today.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
How's it going, Joyce? Right there in the first quarter, it seemed like transition on 4 straight positions was really leading to easy buckets. Just what did y'all see from the defensive end that allowed you to get those steals and runs to the basket?
I mean, Coach been telling us all practice, even after the last game, that we have to be more disciplined on defense. We've been point switching a lot. She just wanted us to really just stay disciplined and follow the game plan. I feel like we did that. I feel like they felt our pressure. We got turnovers, and we just ended up executing in transition.
Isla, you got increased minutes tonight with no Maddie, and then when Agat went down, I guess just how would you evaluate how you played tonight?
I think just effort-wise, I think I did pretty good, but it all comes from my teammates. They pour in so much to me, like confidence-wise, and I think that's just what increased my performance tonight. And I just hope, Maddie and Agat get so much better.
And Isla, with that, I'm sure you came in, as a freshman expecting to play some, but then the injuries started happening. Now your minutes start going up. How prepared do you feel to go in there and give them major minutes if you have to?
I feel very prepared. Coach always talks about bringing practice habits to game. And, I practice how I play. And so it's just about having the confidence of coming into a game and doing the same thing that I do in practice. And I think it's converting pretty well.
For both of you, just your assessment on the defense tonight.
You go first.
I feel like it was great. I mean, again, we were disciplined. We were staying down. Especially like our forwards, they kind of went small and they really stayed down on their feet, really guarding guards. I feel like that's one thing that we're most proud of as a team.
Yeah, defense was really good. We stayed disciplined, like Joyce said, and that's what we're continuing to do, and we're going to get better day by day at it. So,
On the 7P.
Joyce, how do you feel like these first 2 games have gone? Obviously, they're blowout victories, but do you guys feel like you've gotten better each time on the floor and can build into the rest of the season?
Definitely. I mean, even in games where, you win by a larger margin than usual, you still have lessons to learn. I feel like the first game, Coach got on us about our defense. We were kind of being a little lazier. I feel like this game we kind of showed how by being disciplined in defense, how it can lead to turnovers. So I feel like we just grow every game, and we're gelling. The chemistry's, coming together. So, yeah, it's going great.
In the back to Matt.
Hey, Joyce, from the defense to the offensive side of the ball, between the 2 exhibitions and these first 2 games, you guys have scored over 90 points in those 4 games. What do you see from the offense? And it looks like no one's scared to score. What do you see from the offensive side of this team?
I mean, we knew that we have a lot of offense. I mean, we have impactful freshmen, impactful transfers. I mean, we took in the nation's leading scorer. I mean, we're literally an offensive team. So Coach is trying to pick up our defense to, go with our offense a little bit. But, I mean, scoring isn't really a problem for us. Anybody can go off at any time, and that's one of the blessings of being at South Carolina.
Anything else for student athletes? Matt, going in.
This is for Isla. Just everyone always says, there's some learning lessons going from the high school level to this collegiate level. What's been the biggest eye-opener for you this early part of your college career?
To be honest, it's really not a big change for me. Like, seriously, I've played, FIBA ball is very aggressive, and I've played aggressive teams in AAU. And to me, it's really not a big difference. I think the only difference for me is how disciplined you have to be. You have to be very, very disciplined, especially under Coach Staley. And that's the main thing I'm focusing on, just staying disciplined on the defensive end and also on offense.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.